this is Lily, and within this video interview we are having a look at sex and how sex will change within one's process of walking with destiny. Now, for this video interview, we will firstly have a look at sex within the context of having sexual intercourse with one's partner, whether one's partner is Destonian or non-Destonian. We'll give you a practical perspective of how, with walking the destiny tools of writing, self-forgiveness and practical application within the context of sex, will assist and support oneself to change and transform oneself within and as one's human physical body, where one's experience and interaction with sex and sexuality and sexual expression becomes that of self-expression, a sharing of self within one's own self-comfortability within who self is and what self-enjoy, and so within that process becoming more attuned, more comfortable, more in touch with, if you will, your own human physical body and yourself. And within and as and during this process, one will realize that in terms of having sex with one's partner is thus the emphasis on the actual physical experience from the mind experience. So let us first start with having a look at what sex most predominantly is and has become, especially within a couple relationship scenario. And we have done video interviews with regards to sex, sexuality, sexual expression, masturbation, within the context of being with self or one's partner. However, in this video interview, what I'd like to emphasize, what has not yet been emphasized, is how to incorporate the tools of writing, self-forgiveness and self-corrective application will practically, from a physical space-time perspective, assist and support oneself with one's expansion and growth and development in approaching sex with oneself and one's partner. Now, the primary point within Destiny is your starting point focus, which is self first, which means that with the principle that is walked within Destiny as equality and oneness, it is the process of first standing equal to and one with self, as we have accepted and allowed ourselves to separate ourselves into a mind consciousness system. That mind consciousness system as ourselves, into which we've separated ourselves, consists of a conscious, subconscious, unconscious mind, and then everything and all that substantiated, such as your thoughts, your energies, your patterns, your habits, your personalities, your definitions, your knowledge, your information. So your initial process starts with assisting and supporting yourself with becoming equal to and one with yourself as the mind, as everything you've separated yourself from, to release yourself from that separation relationship through self-forgiveness, and to, with practical corrective application with your writing and your self-forgiveness, walk that practical process of aligning yourself and your living to being here with your breathing in every moment of breath, where I am the directive principle of me within every moment of breath. It's no more your conscious, subconscious, unconscious mind, multidimensional interactions on pre-programmed automation directing, controlling or influencing you. It's now who I am here in every moment of breath as I stand as me within equality and oneness is what's best for all, and am the living example of what it is to be here. And only then, once one start establishing that self-equality and oneness, one's process thus expand to standing equal to and one with others, and then more people, and then the world, and then existence. So obviously, before being able to be equal to and one with anything or anyone else, you first have to establish that self, equality, and oneness. So we've done interviews regarding your process of equality and oneness, your practical process of walking through your mind consciousness system. Now, with sex, one can assist and support oneself, additionally with assisting and supporting that equality and oneness with one's human physical body. I mean, when one starts walking one's process, one realize and understand the extent to which we have actually separated ourselves from our own human physical bodies, where our actual movements are done in total unawareness, where we're not even breathing with the body. The body is just this automated system that's kind of there, that's giving us that ability to be able to exist as a mind preoccupied in the conscious mind with all sorts of thoughts. That's actually driving our attention away from living here with our human physical bodies. So sex will assist and support self with that platform of establishing an actual relationship, if you will, with your human physical body. Now, just to emphasize here within this video interview, to not now within the video interview go and look for just any person to have sex with to try this out. This context of one's process in assisting and supporting oneself in sex, within establishing that equality and oneness with one's human physical body, requires a stability point, a consistent stability point, which will be one's partner. So we emphasize again to only walk this if and as one do have a partner that is constant, consistent, and stable within one's world and one's reality. And for those that are listening to this and that do not yet have a partner, what would be cool then is to have a listen to this, and to, as and when one do come across a potential partner and one does go into a partnership, an agreement with another human being, then to walk one's process with sex and sexuality, sexual self-expression within this context from the get-go, because that will be a very cool already self-stability point in relation to sex, sexuality, sexual expression with another human being. Alright, so let's begin. So as I said, in terms of first having a look at what sex and sexual expression has become, obviously as one engage within the sexual act and one's experience within sex start rising as bodies are touching and clothes are coming off, and there's the music and the candles, or just some obscure place within the house where it is just suddenly unexpectedly happening. And one will realize that what comes up quite often is emotions, feelings, reactions, uncomfortability, resistances, thoughts, images, backchats, internal conversations. It's like all of a sudden one had activated this live broadcast within oneself while one is having sex with one's partner. And many partners are not even yet at that state of comfortability of communicating what it is that they like or dislike, where they're comfortable or not, how they like this or that, why they don't like it this way or that way, maybe making or proposing suggestions and things like that. So a lot of what happens in sex becomes secret mind backchat. And or most of the time we have become so unaware of even ourselves within enduring sex that we don't even realize and understand how much of that live mind consciousness system broadcast actually do come up within ourselves within enduring the act of sex. And then mixed in with all of that, it's like, what is the partner like, or do they like this or do they like that? Am I smelling? Is my body soft enough? are my nails too long? Is my hair not sweaty? Oh my god, what's my hair gonna look like during or after? So it's again not taking into consideration that you're going to be physically expressing, and in that physical movement you cannot be perfect in terms of what is portrayed within media, magazines, pornography, of having this perfect presentation while having sex. I mean, if one attempts to try to have sex within the context of what one has been taught or learned through media, magazines, porn, conversations and things like that, there's no way to have really great sex in a nice way. When one in fact have sex in terms of expressing oneself within and as and with one's human physical body, you're going to have really hard, fast, physical, muscular movements. You can't even define yourself essentially as a male or a female within sex, which is another interesting point that we hadn't yet brought up, wherein in terms of sex and sexual expression, where you'll reach a stage with your physical where you realize, okay, I'm a physical body, my partner is a physical body, we're two physical bodies moving together, and we're actually moving with our human physical body. I'm moving as my human physical body, and as I'm moving as my human physical body, I am emerging as my expression as and with the physical. And within moving with one's human physical body, one will actually move as one's body. There won't be a initial particular arousal. With self-expression, your arousal as and with the physical comes through moving as the actual physical. And therefore, I did jump a bit in the interview. I'll get back a bit later to the point of how sex has changed from couples to where you become equal to and one with your physical. So let's just get back to where we're now with how when you're self-expressing with your human physical body, your movements is very physical. You'll thrust quite hard, you'll use your upper thighs, your legs, your arms, your back. You'll literally use your whole human physical body and moving and using muscles that you may not have even realized were there. And so you move as your human physical body, and as you're moving as your human physical body, then you'll start experiencing an expression moving from your pubic area up, and you just continue moving as the physical. And as you're moving as the physical, you move that expression up as yourself through into your spine, and it becomes a total expression that release within the totality of your human physical body. It will feel like you completely stand within your body. It becomes a silence but an expression at the same time, and you're going to be panting and sweaty, but that release of that expression as yourself in moving through and with your human physical body is really something that stays with self as self, even for a moment, because it's literally like this expression moves through each and every single cell, and each and every single cell just idles within that expression that was released, which is referred to as orgasm, within oneself as one's human physical body. It is really not just like what you'd have with your normal couple sexual experience, where there's an orgasm that might only reach the pubic area, or just this thin quickie that comes through your solar plexus and into your chest, and then it's done, and your body kind of feels a bit shitty after that. Within your sex as sexual expression with your human physical body, your body becomes really stable yet quiet, and you're tired, but you also feel very awake. And that is your reference in terms of when you know the difference between when I have participated in sex with my mind or with my actual human physical body. Because let's have a look at now the difference between sex with the mind and sex with your human physical body. So sex with your mind is a process of a simple energy release, where what happens is, because you approach sex with your mind, the mind obviously utilizes the sexual act as a means to regenerate, recharge, repower itself. So the human physical body simply then becomes a vessel for your mind consciousness system to generate and charge up and power up more energy. So then what happens is, and because the mind is so limited, you can really only generate and come up with so much energy at a time during sex, and that's also why your release as the orgasm is so limited, because it's only so much energy that the mind can handle and contain and maintain. So as you're starting up with the sex, you generate your whole sex system with your thoughts and images, and even the mind uses all the energies that you have in relation to sex and accumulates it into itself, whether it's good or bad. So it accumulates all your desires, fantasies, wants, and needs that come up in images. It accumulates your insecurities, your uncomfortabilities, your backchat, your secret mind conversations that you're having within and during the act. And as you are pumping with another human physical body, your attention is more within your mind, and you're feeling this energy start building up and accumulating within yourself, and it like reaches a point and then it just discharges. So sex then becomes a discharge of accumulated built up energy that the mind gets as you start activating your whole sex system, and when it reaches its saturation point, it then discharges, and there you have your mini orgasm. Whereas let's have a look at sex within the context of actual expression with your human physical body. You'll physically move. Your total focus and attention becomes just on and within your human physical body, and you really use your total entire body within and during sex to move yourself. You move your arms, you hold on to your partner, whether the female is on top and the male underneath, or the female underneath and the male on top. You'll literally claw into your partner almost and really hold, so that both can have that physical support, that almost like a physical lock-in, if you will, and be able to assist and support each other to move your total human physical body. Because to assist and support yourself with that physical equality and oneness, it's to move with your body, not first go into your mind and then try and move through your mind. That will kind of make your physical movements a bit uncomfortable, like stuck and sticky and rusty, if you will. Whereas when you're moving with your total human physical body, and you're using all your parts to move, it is a one natural, really expressive movement. And within and during the process of expressing with your human physical body, it also assists and support with just realizing that you're a physical body moving and expressing, and that you are moving and expressing physically with another human being, your partner. It's not like going into your mind, wondering and thinking and fearing what it is that you're looking like or doing wrong or right, and what your partner is thinking and doing wrong or right. It's simply, I'm here, I'm moving, and you move. It is an actual physical self-expressed movement. So within that, just some indicators in relation to the difference between a sexual experience within the mind and with the physical, where with the mind you enter it through your mind, whereas with the physical you express as the physical. And that initially with moving physically, you may not be initially aroused because it is not a pre-programmed arousal. When you move physically, you stand up as an expression that emerges within and through the physical. So it's like as you're physically moving, you're within and as the physical standing up, like waking up inside yourself. And within and during the physical movement, that expression of yourself come through and stand up, and you'll start feeling, okay, there's something happening as you're physically moving. And then when you feel that something, you can focus yourself on that experience or that physical experience that is emerging within you. It will start initially within the pubic area, but you'll also feel it come up your spine almost immediately. And then you can focus yourself on that physical expression emerging, and you can stand up with it and as you're physically moving, and you'll realize that the expression is standing up equal to and one with how you're moving with the physical. So it becomes a one expression as it starts standing up, as you start standing up as that expression, and you just keep on moving and keep on standing within it, and then you'll realize you'll reach a point where it naturally just explodes, and it's your whole human physical body that goes into this absolute state of stability, yet expression, yet silence at the same time. So now, to assist and support oneself practically within this process, with incorporating writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application, remember, in terms of what I'm describing, is something that one walk as a process. It's not like one can immediately go within sex and say, okay, I'm physical, I'm now only going to move physical. We're still a mind. We're still in a process of walking ourselves out of a mind into the physical. So remember that assisting and supporting yourself within this physical self-expression within sex is going to be a process of space-time, application, and practice. So you can assist and support yourself with writing and self-forgiveness within the following context. So when you're having sex, one can have sex, and then as soon as one able to, after that, write down and replay, so to speak, within yourself, how you moved, how you experienced yourself, where can you remember was there uncomfortability, where was there fear, like see if you can find some of the main points that you can notice where you're still going into your mind instead of moving physically here. Then one can write it down for yourself, just short descriptions. I mean, you don't have to go into detail. This is not about impressing or pleasing anyone. This is simply and totally a self process. And please note that what we're discussing in this video interview is for self to do and walk for self practically, not to be advertised within this world and this reality, but first to walk it for and as self, to assist and support self with that establishing of that primary relationship with self in who self is within sex, sexuality, and one's human physical body. And this will also assist and support self to realize that this is a self process that is for self in terms of establishing that physical equality and oneness. When and as one has walked one process for a while in establishing that physical equality oneness, one then becomes more a living example that can assist and support. But for at the moment, at this stage, is to only to walk for self. So one can thus for self write down your just short descriptions of what self from one's sexual experience could see or note where there was still uncomfortability, resistances, fears, and things like that. And then assist and support yourself with self-forgiveness to release yourself from that relationships in your mind of that uncomfortability, that fear, that resistance, the back chat that came up, and then to write your practical application, like when and as I see myself going into resistance when he touches me on my buttocks, I allow myself to breathe and put my hand on his hand and hold my buttocks with him, for example. Just to assist and support yourself with, because you've now realized, seen and understood within your writing that you felt uncomfortable with him touching your bum because you were uncomfortable with your own bum still and had judgments about your ass. And then you go and write yourself forgiveness about forgiving yourself that you've accepted and allowed yourself to judge your ass, to be uncomfortable thus with your partner touching your ass. And then when and as he touches your ass, you breathe in the moment, take a breath, release the resistance, and hold your ass with him within and during the sexual experience. So take it very slow. I mean, I would even suggest, like, if you had sex and you saw some points, take 1 or 2 points that was quite big for yourself, like the ass point, and then where you see that you were kissing him or her and you're wondering whether they liked it, to then assist and support yourself with allowing yourself to speak with them about, do they enjoy this type of kissing? And then you focus on only that 2 points the next time you have sex. So then you say, okay, the kissing point I'm going to speak about to him or her, and then the ass point I'm going to apply for myself, that when he or she touches my ass, I'll just touch my ass with them. And then so you take it like 1 or 2 points at a time, because this is going to be a slow, practical, step-by-step process to walk for self in establishing that comfortability, that here-ness, that equality and oneness with and as one's human physical body. Okay, so here are just some introductions, and we are introducing a Destiny I process course on self-agreements and agreements with walking with one's partner, which is the practical process of assisting and supporting oneself with self-equality and oneness with one's mind consciousness system, with one's human physical body, how to walk it with another in equality and oneness, and then also touching on how to assist and support with practical interactions with sex, the physical, and one's partner. So look out for that course that will be introduced in due time. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.